So my friends, we continue our module 4, Case of the Disappearing T. Now I want to talk about past tense verbs with did not and didn't, okay? So the basics of the past tense verbs is the did not is the contraction to didn't with the T sound, and we want to change the T to did not to didn't. Didn't. Try with me. Didn't. Now notice that the D-I is not didn't, but didn't. Right? The sound comes from here. Didn't. Didn't. What you need to remember is the be verbs was and could in the past will always use not. The use of didn't is for I, you, we, they, he, she, or it. In the present tense, we can see s and does not and don't, but the past is all the same. Very convenient. Now, in the past tense in English, we have a simple sentence. You wanted to buy it. The negative is you didn't want to buy it. Okay? A lot of students have problems with this. And a question would be, did you want to buy it? Alright? When we have the verb to be in the past, I was there last night, I was not there last night, or busy last night, or was I busy yesterday? Okay? That in the negative of was, it will be not, and in the question you change the order. That's the essential part about didn't and other verbs just using not. Here, for example, I didn't was, it's just completely wrong. It's a simple mistake, but careful, my friends. The pronunciation we want to train is about the word didn't. Now, the T didn't will become didn't. You didn't want. Always connect didn't and want. Didn't want to buy it. Okay, so I have some examples to train with the pronunciation of didn't. Now, it's very similar to doesn't, that the N is very strong and connects to the next verb. Didn't want. Two words, didn't, want, but the sound is one word. Didn't want. Didn't want. Alright, let's go. He did not do it because he did not have time. He didn't do it because he didn't have time. He didn't do it because he didn't have time. He didn't do it because he didn't have time. He didn't do it because he didn't have time. He didn't do it because he didn't have time. We did not think we were going to be so late. We didn't think we were gonna be so late. We didn't think we were gonna be so late. We didn't think we were gonna be so late. He was looking for it, but he did not find it. He was looking for it, but he didn't find it. He was looking for it, but he didn't find it. But he didn't find it. I have no idea why they did not invite you. I have no idea why they didn't invite you. I have no idea why they didn't invite you. I have no idea why they didn't invite you. I am sorry, I just did not have time to have a look at it yet. I'm sorry, I just didn't have time to have a look at it yet. I'm sorry, I just didn't have time. I just didn't have time to have a look at it yet. I'm sorry, I just didn't have time to have a look at it yet. Okay guys, that ends video 4. I will see you in the next video where we're going to start talking about shouldn't and shouldn't. Okay? See you there, my friends. Hey guys, in this video, we're going to see how to use the word should and how should not will become shouldn't. Okay, let's go. The first meaning and idea of should is opinion or advice. This is the simple way to understand. Examples like you should go to the doctor. You should send the letter today. Now, we need to be clear about the difference between should and must. Should is an advice or opinion, and must is a very strong obligation. For example, you should go to the doctor. If we think that this is a small problem, a light problem, maybe you have a cold or influenza that's 4, 5, 6 days, and it's a problem. You should go to the doctor. It's opinion or advice. Now, you must go to the doctor. If you imagine you have a more serious problem that you really need to go to the doctor, so you must go to the doctor. But just to compare side by side. Now, with the form, should is very similar to could and would. That you should do it is the correct. You should doing it or you should to do it are both incorrect. So just be careful in your speaking to have the correct form. Here we can see you should buy it now. In the negatives, you should not, you shouldn't. And then the question is to change the word order. Should you buy it now? Again, with the pronunciation, the L is silent. For a lot of students, this is difficult. They start to pronounce should. And yeah, they see an L, but it is silent. The pronunciation is should. Try it with me now. Should. Got it? So when we have the negative of you should not, you shouldn't, the pronunciation we want to train is this, that you shouldn't. You shouldn't buy it. So the T disappears and the N is strong, connecting to the next word. You shouldn't buy it. You shouldn't buy it. Alright? Compare this to you shouldn't buy it. Nothing wrong with the first one, but the first one, the you shouldn't buy it, is more native, it's more natural. Okay? So let's see some simple examples with should not to shouldn't to shouldn't. Okay? Always remember, listen, pause, and repeat the sentences and train your pronunciation at home. Alright? He should not get so stressed. He shouldn't get so stressed. He shouldn't get so stressed. And he shouldn't get so stressed. They should not be so lazy. They shouldn't be so lazy. They shouldn't be so lazy. They shouldn't be so lazy. Things just should not be so complicated. Things just shouldn't be so complicated. Things just shouldn't be so complicated. Things just shouldn't be so complicated. Do you think I should not do it? Do you think I shouldn't do it? Do you think I shouldn't do it? Do you think I shouldn't do it? You should not wait before going to the doctor. You shouldn't wait before going to the doctor. You shouldn't wait before going to the doctor. You shouldn't wait before going to the doctor. Alright my friends, that ends this video. I'll see you in the next video when we will look about could not, couldn't to couldn't. Okay? See you there my friends. Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about the word could and how could not to couldn't will become couldn't. Okay, let's see it. So I want to explain the fundamentals of could before we continue. Can in English is irregular. It's an irregular verb. The infinitive of can is to be able. Normally, the infinitive and the conjugated verb are the same word. For example, the infinitive of to need, the conjugated verb is I need, you need, we need, they need, and with he and she plus s. But the fundamental, it's the same word, the infinitive and the conjugated verb. But to be able, conjugated is can. For example, to be able is I can, you can, we can, they can, etc. For example, in the middle of a sentence, we would use I want to be able to speak English. Or you need to be able to drive. This is how we can use the infinitive of to be able in the middle of a sentence. If here, for example, you want to say I want to can speak English, is completely incorrect. It's a normal little mistake. Now, if we are clear that to be able is the infinitive, and now the present tense is can, we can use could for future possibilities, or we can also use could for past abilities. Okay? Future possibilities are when we are speaking now or we're speaking about the future. Like, what do you want to do today? We could go to the beach. Right? If I say, I have a problem, I could help you. Future possibilities, right? Past abilities are those moments, for example, I could understand him very well, right? In that past moment, I had the ability to understand. Or I couldn't access my account. Right? It's classic with the online banking systems. It's classic, you can't access your account, right? But this is a past ability moment. Again, with the form, it's similar to should and could and would. That I could go, not to go, or going, all right? So, to continue the idea, we could go tomorrow, we couldn't or we could not go tomorrow, always using not in the negative with could, and could we go tomorrow, right? Changing the word order as a question. Again, the L is silent. The pronunciation is not cool. It's could. Could. Alright? So what we want to train is the native speaking pronunciation of the disappearing T. We couldn't go tomorrow is we couldn't go tomorrow. The T disappears, strong N and connecting. We couldn't go. Like one word. Could go, two words, but the pronunciations, we couldn't go. Like one word, alright? So let's see some examples with could not to couldn't, and let's train the pronunciation with couldn't, alright? Let's get started. She is tired because she could not sleep last night. She's tired because she couldn't sleep last night. She's tired because she couldn't sleep last night. She's tired because she couldn't sleep last night. They could not speak English then as well as they can now. They couldn't speak English then as well as they can now. They couldn't speak English as well as they can now. They couldn't speak English as well as they can now. We just could not understand what the problem was. We just couldn't understand what the problem was. We just couldn't understand. We just couldn't understand what the problem was. He was looking for it, but he could not find it anywhere. He was looking for it, but he couldn't find it anywhere. He was looking for it, but he couldn't find it anywhere. He was looking for it, but he couldn't find it anywhere. She was trying to explain the problem, but he could not understand anything. She was trying to explain the problem, but he couldn't understand anything. She was trying to explain the problem, but he couldn't understand anything. She was trying to explain the problem, but he couldn't understand anything. Alright, my friends, that ends this video. In the next video, I will start talking about would not to wouldn't. Alright? See you there, my friends. Hey my friends, in this video I want to look quickly at the word would and how we use it and the native pronunciation of would not to wouldn't to wouldn't. Okay, let's go. Here is an example of a sentence with would. I would buy it if I had money. Okay, I would buy it if I had money. So let's explain this a little bit. The idea here is what happens if something else happens. So what happens if something else happens? For example, if I worked from home, I would spend more time with my family, right? Now, if you imagine that the person speaking who said this is working at a company and working in an office, and they work in an office, they don't work at home. But they imagine, well, if I worked from home, I would spend more time with my family, right? Now, it's not real. The person does not work from home. But it's what would happen if it was real. Okay? The important part here is that here in English, the past tense, if I worked, we're using the past tense to talk about now. Okay? Now, another example. If I had